Something happened in the last 2 months that is very important, starting with just yesterday. Yesterday, the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom went to China. 2 weeks before that, the Prime Minister of Canada also went to China. And while he was in China, he made a speech in front of Xi Jinping, President of China. In this speech, he mentioned that he looks forward to a new global order. Depending on who you are, those are very strong words. Incidentally, a month before that, in December, President Macron of France was in China. Now, I don't need to tell you a lot about how the Chinese have a collective history of grievance. They remember their history very much. Unlike the Africans, the Chinese always remember their history. And they remember things like 100 years of humiliation, unequal treaties. And also, the Chinese have one thing called a tributary system. So it was quite telling to kind of see these former colonial countries' leaders, countries that China has a long memory about their domination, be able to come to China and kind of pay tribute, if you will, to kind of like China, the emergent power. And it was, if you look at the comments of President Xi Jinping, they were not gushing, especially in front of Prime Minister of the UK, Starmer. He looked forward to a partnership and said they should make arrangements to have one. So if you think about the long history of grievance that the Chinese have, and if you look at the reception that Starmer had, he even marched and kind of like bowed to the Chinese flag. It's not a coincidence that this takes place. And in the Chinese public, it was a time of redemption. So if you are a student of history and you know about the unequal treaties that the Chinese have never forgotten, that they teach their children to this very day about, if you know about the collective sense of grievance that the Chinese have, if you know about the century of humiliation, 29th of January 2026 was quite an important time in the history of this world.